The Five Nights at Freddy's game timeline isn't exactly straightforward, and the latest addition to the main series only makes things more complicated. There are now 7 games that are canon to the main series timeline. However, the order of release is certainly not the same as the game's chronological order. Especially after the release of Five Nights at Freddy's: Security Breach. There are several spin-off games in the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise, and those spark constant debate in the fanbase about each side game's place in the timeline. Some fans have formed detailed timelines, mapping out every piece of lore and when it originated. So, while many fans don't agree on the true Fazbear Pizza timeline, the main series games are the only ones considered canon by creator Scott Cawthon and other developers. And these games have fairly straightforward timestamps. The 4th installment in the series is actually the first to take place chronologically, in 1983. Unlike other games in the franchise, the player character is not a security guard at a pizzeria, but instead a child in their own bedroom. This child stays in their bed for the entirety of the game and is armed with a flashlight. As the child sits in the dark, they're visited by nightmare versions of common FNAF animatronics Chica, Bonnie, Freddy, and Foxy. They use a flashlight and strategic closing of closet doors to make it through the terrifying night. Through minigames during Five Nights at Freddy's 4, players learn that the child was the victim of the Bite of 83, when bullies at a party placed their head inside Fredbear's mouth at Fredbear's Family Diner. This incident ultimately led to the closure of Fredbear's Family Diner and the events of later games. It's not exactly clear when the events of Five Nights at Freddy's: Sister Location take place, but fans generally agree that it is the second chronological game, happening shortly after FNAF 4, and before the events of FNAF 2. This game introduces a lot of series lore surrounding the creator of the animatronics, William Afton, and his children. Players play as Michael Afton, who finds himself at Circus Baby's Entertainment and Rental, an underground warehouse that stores animatronics that can be rented for parties. These robots come from a now closed sister location to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, and animatronics like Circus Baby and Ballora are unique to this game. Other Fazbear animatronics like Bonnie, Freddy, and Foxy also appear in circus-themed, Funtime variations. Through Sister Location, Circus Baby earns the trust of Michael and eventually lures him to his death, allowing the endoskeleton of animatronic Ennard to use Michael's FLES. Players take on the role of Jeremy Fitzgerald, the newest Freddy Fazbear's Pizza security guard, in Five Nights at Freddy's 2. The paycheck players receive at the end of the game confirms that the events of FNAF 2 take place in November of 1987. The second game in the series features the same format as the original game, with players remaining stationary in a security office, attempting to keep deadly animatronics at bay. A nameless employee on the phone speaks to Jeremy each night and reveals information about the location and the job. Players learn that the animatronics roam freely around the building and are programmed to seek out noise, even at night. It's also revealed that old animatronics are kept in storage in the building to be used for spare parts. Eventually, Jeremy learns that there is an ongoing police investigation surrounding the restaurant, mostly like the Bite of 87, mentioned in the first game. FNAF 2 introduced post-death Aider-style minigames and The Purple Man, whom many fans believe killed several children at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. The series' namesake, Five Nights at Freddy's, has no confirmed date in the timeline, but fans widely agree that it likely takes place in 1993. Players find themselves in the shoes of Mike Schmidt, yet another nighttime security guard for Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. The game takes place at a different location than that of FNAF 2. and the unnamed recorded voice informs players of the animatronics' habit of mistaking humans for endoskeletons, leading them to forcefully stuff people inside of animatronic suits. The main series lore found in the original 2014 game comes from newspaper clippings and some stories told in recordings. The player learns of a man hiding in an animatronic suit to lure 5 children to their murders. Later complaints came from guests that the animatronics smelled foul and were leaking mysterious fluids, leading fans to the speculation that the children's corpses may have been hidden inside the animatronics. The series' third installment takes a slight turn from the previous games. Set approximately 30 years after the events of the original FNAF, around 2023, players are tasked with a security job at horror attraction Fazbear's Fright, and keep watch during the night.